How is it possible for public servants, such as politicians, to amass multi-million-dollar fortunes on salaries of $100,000? Bribery and corruption, of course. One favorite of US politicians is buying and selling stocks based on what they know. It is not public knowledge. A lot of politicians made money short selling stock just before COVID pandemic restrictions were announced to the public. I'm sure they made a killing on Pfizer just before it was announced that a COVID vaccine was approved. You know, stuff like that. Mostly insider trading stuff, and again, bribery and corruption. It's all BS illegal stuff that wouldn't hold up to 2 seconds of inquiry. There are so many ways of moving campaign donations around that eventually end up back in the pocket of the politician. The ridiculously overpaid speaking engagements that are just ways for companies to bribe them. Fake positions on boards of companies. Again, for voting a certain way. The straight-up illegal bribes for votes. Insider trading like crazy. It goes on and on. Op must be in blissful ignorance. Sheesh. In 2023, the following politicians made huge gains above SPY. Brian Higgins D 238.9 over SPY. Mark Green a 122 point over SPY. Garrett Graves a 107.6. David Rouser a 105.6. Seth Moulton D80. Ron Wyden D78.5. And on. What this is, op, is insider trading. They, or their family, makes moves in the stock market based on inside knowledge. When a road is being drawn up, the route is public. Politicians know where to look for proposed projects. They generally know what ones will pass and what won't. Then, before the plan is approved, they will buy land along the route and charge the state a premium for the land once construction begins. It's a type of insider trading. It can even be legal in some jurisdictions. Most have been said, but I want to restate them. Being old as shit is a big factor. They started wealthy and have built their wealth over time. Yes, lobbying corruption happens, but it doesn't take much to sway a senator. $6 okay to someone that is already a millionaire isn't massive, but it means they don't have to spend their own money. That is gaining interest. They get information that affects everything from gas prices to semiconductor production. If they get that info weeks or days before everyone else, and they buy or sell the proper futures, stocks, bonds, whatever, you can check their portfolios, and they get better returns on investments than almost everyone else. On top of the obvious and already mentioned things here, I'll add to less exciting reasons. Lots of politicians are lawyers and business owners who made a fortune before getting into politics. As for public servants, I think people would be surprised to know how many regular people have a plain old regular jobs but also have a lot of family money. Former presidents get paid a lot to do speaking engagements. Private organizations will invite former presidents to give a 30-minute talk and pay them $100K for it. I think you're thinking of it in reverse. Rich people who have amassed fortunes run for congressional office to expand their power. They retain their business earnings while doing so. Many come from money already, are mortgage-free and are given somewhere to live and most expenses paid. So, minimal outgoings. Maybe a spare property to rent out, a good pension, payoffs when leaving a position only to return shortly after, and the wonders of compound interest. That's just the legit ways directly from their job. They have information about upcoming legislation that can affect stock prices of some companies. They always guess correct. They, while campaigning, raise money and then sell their books to the campaign in the hundreds of thousands of copies. The books can get given away or thrown in the garbage, but they get that money. Under-the-table deals, getting cutbacks on their taxes. I remember the first thing AOC talked up was an increase of payment to representative. I mean, how many times have politicians voted themselves higher pay? I think it was Harry S. Truman who, paraphrasing, said if you got rich after going into politics, you're a crook. A capitalist tells you that if you make policy X happen, their stock will increase by 30. They'll also funnel you to a OK. You take that 200K, invest it in the company, and then make policy X happen. Rinse repeat that move for an entire career and you're Nancy Pelosi. I think that access to networks of influence may allow politicians to gain economic benefits, such as favorable government contracts for companies affiliated with them or their associates. Insider trading, high-profile positions offered to them after their public service, very lucrative speaking contracts, and other under-the-table schemes. $100 week at 8 will turn into $1 million in less than 40 years. There are also other investment opportunities that come along for well-connected people. Insider trading seems to be rampant among public officials, with little to no repercussions, while regular citizens face jail time for the same offense. Corruption, insider information, basically anything that the rest of us would be quickly arrested for, but both parties give themselves a pass on it. Insider trading using knowledge of upcoming legislation that affects stocks prices before the public knows. Also lobbyists giving them money because they don't waste it on avocado toast and Starbucks. Obvi. Just so we're clear. I'm being sarcastic. Very, very sarcastic. Live frugally, invest early in life, and keep it up over your entire career. I never made $100,000, and I'm quite comfortable now. You have to already be a millionaire to get elected. They already had money which is invested or generates income. Most of them are already wealthy. It's basically impossible to get into politics without power, money, or influence. Spouses, inheritance, book deals, work prior to becoming a public servant. Insider trading. There are many reasons. They should be paid more, but not allowed to trade stocks or take advisement roles after their term is up or retire. A lot of politicians make more than that. As well, they get kickbacks from corporations that have bought them. I don't think it's only because they wake up at 5 a.m. LOL. The way they live doesn't match with their salary. You invest 15 of your salary over 50 years in the market, and you too can be a multimillionaire on 100,000. The honest answer is speaking fees and book deals. The unethical answer is insider trading. Because, as Jimmy Carter pointed out, we are an oligarchy with unlimited political bribery. Insider trading 100. It's crazy how amazing stock traders all these politicians are. Investing, and I know a lot of reports about how rich some of them are bullshit. Joe Biden is 81. He's been compounding for 63 years. His net worth is like 10 mil. Massive amounts of overtime, working second jobs as security, scams and fraud, corruption, trust funds, and legacies built on the demise of their citizens. Corruption, lobbyists, insider trading, cash for votes, board seats, etc. They get paid for other things, such as talks and attending paid events, perks, speaking appearances, selling rights to memoirs, stocks, T.V. Insider trading. It's legal for them in the US. Not for us proles. It's called lobbying insider trading, and this shit needs to end.